Coach, 2025, more parity in college football than either of us ever remember. Interesting, on Big Noon this past week, you guys spent a lot of time talking about maybe some teams you ordinarily wouldn't talk about.
Yeah, I would venture to say I think it's the most parity in the history of the game. And not only were we discussing it, we were in Indiana. The majority of our show, and I brought this up to our producers and the other guys on the set, we talked about Indiana, Vanderbilt, Georgia Tech, Texas Tech, Missouri, Ole Miss, BYU, and Virginia. Teams that normally, back in the day, you talked about the blue bloods.
Right.
And as you think about, these are all quality teams. Those teams I just mentioned, they're not just playing for the college football playoff. There's a belief some of those teams might be playing for a national championship. How did we get here?
Well, obviously the portal is part of it. The NIL money is part of it. The kids are going to school a lot longer now. They all have their degrees, so it's easier for them to transfer from one school to another with a degree, so they're not under that much academic pressure.
Let's go back to the portal. And there was a day that when I was at Ohio State in Florida, if you weren't 3 deep at that position, I panicked as a coach, and I would push that coach to get some more depth at that position. I think the portal has really diluted some of these big-time programs, and some of these players are going elsewhere. And you made a point as well in the BCS. Let's go back memory lane here. BCS, there's 2 teams playing for a national championship. So that thinned it out. That meant there's only going to be I used to call them the Elite 8. There's only 8 teams that could really be there, and that'd be the Ohio State, Alabama, et cetera, et cetera. Then it expanded to a 4-team playoff, which made it more feasible for other teams to make it, and now you're at a 12-team playoff with a chance of maybe going more teams. I see teams, because of the portal and because of the playoff system, now being more willing to go to a Vanderbilt, to go to a Georgia Tech, to go to a BYU. Why? Portal, they're going to play, they're going to get paid, but then also access to the playoff that otherwise was certainly not there with the BCS and very limited with the 14 playoff.
I think it might impact conference champions more than it impact national champions, because now the depth of Vanderbilt, by way of example, Indiana, as we go forward, they're going to be able to have better roster because they can get some players through the portal and compete for that conference championship. It's still going to be hard to compete for the national championship, but they certainly have access to it.
Well, of those teams, I physically saw Indiana, physically saw Texas Tech, and physically saw BYU. Those teams not only having great seasons, there is a strong feeling within those organizations they're getting ready to go play in the college football playoff. I think it's great for college football. I think this is exactly what was needed, because it became the stronger got stronger. No longer is that the case. You're seeing parity, which is good for the sport.
Right. There's no doubt the teams are getting better and the access is getting better, and that's really what's changed.